Welcome to the top of the bleachers here on the shores of Lake Ontario for day 2 of the Ziel men's basketball tournament. I'm Parker Forrest. Alongside me, Josh Madison. We had 2 great games today. Our first game being the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins versus the SUNY Poly Wildcats. In game 2 will be the championship game between the Union Chargers and the Oswego State Lakers. Starting with game 1 of our coverage here on WTOP 10, it will be the Wildcats of SUNY Poly taking on the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins. Josh, how are we feeling today?
I feel absolutely fantastic today, Parker. These are going to be 2 really competitive games. Last night, seeing night 1, there were 2 pretty good games, but we saw a couple of teams dominate in those. On paper, these are going to be 2 really good games, especially in this one. I'm very excited for this one. These are 2 very fast-paced teams, so we're looking for a lot of really quick movements. Probably going to see some teams get in foul trouble early and often, but it's going to be really fast-paced, and I'm very excited for it.
Very excited indeed, Josh. Both of these teams lost in blowout fashion yesterday. The Chargers beat SUNY Poly 84-55, while Mount St. Vincent struggled all of not the entire game against the Oswego State Lakers, losing 106-66. The starters were just named. For SUNY Poly Wildcats, it will be number 0, Marcus Samuels, number 1, Brian Bonin, number 5, Anthony Rose, number 7, William Scanlon, and number 10, Cameron Comstock. And for the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins, it will be number 6, Joel Gato, number 10, Eric Woodbury, number 21, Gerard Novella getting the start today, number 32, Blake Solis Mitchell, and number 11, Aiden McKay. SUNY Poly in all yellow, Mount St. Vincent in navy blue. The tip-off goes to SUNY Poly. Day 2 of the Ziel men's basketball tournament is underway here in the Ziel. Eric Woodbury. Here is Scanlon, stolen by the Mount St. Vincent Dolphins. Looking to push is Woodbury. They took to slow it down. It's McKay now with it for Mount St. Vincent. Their first offensive possession. McKay finds Gato inside, and the Dolphins get the scoring started.
Yeah, not surprised with that one. A great pick and roll, caught him right down, had him open down in that lane. Beautiful layup to get the scoring started.
Hand off to Bonin, looking to drive inside. Will kick it to Comstock. Now on the baseline, here is Rose. His 1,000th point yesterday, misses that one short. Dolphins now with it. Lead is 2-0. Minute has now passed. Novella will try a 3. That is no good. He was 4 of 9 yesterday versus Union. Here comes Samuels trying to kick to the corner to Scanlon, but the pass is tipped by Woodbury, but it will stay with the Wildcats.
Yeah, you can see his idea there, looking one way, trying to pass the other, trying to catch the defense off guard, but a nice jump there for the defense to tip it out of bounds.
Inbound to Scanlon. He'll try a tray. That one's off the mark, rebounded by Woodbury. Eric Woodbury here on the near side. He'll kick it over to McCary. McCary had 11 yesterday. Try to get to Gato inside, but that one is stolen. Bonin now looking to push. The layup and the fast break is no good, but he'll get called for the foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, we mentioned it just before the tip-off. These 2 teams are very fast-paced. It feels like you can't even catch your breath before the ball's going in the other direction. Finally getting our first stoppage with a foul. We'll see how they do at the line. Last night they struggled a little bit, but we'll see if they can pick that up today.
Both of these teams struggled at the free throw line yesterday. Brian Bonin, number 1, at the free throw line. The graduate student from St. John Fisher, that was his first year of college basketball, transferred to Hartwick, now here at SUNY Poly for his last collegiate season. 6'3", 175 from Cicero, New York. Yesterday, he had 8 points and 2 steals. Makes the first free throw. And knocks down the second. We're tied 2-2 apiece with 18:34 to go. Up the court now, here are the Dolphins. It's Novella with it on the far side. Woodbury now trying to back down Bowen. Good defense by Samuels. Novella gets inside to Solis Mitchell. Try to get it to Gato, but it's stolen. The Dolphins turn it over. They struggled with turnovers yesterday. Scanlon, quick transition. 3 is off the mark. Rebounded by Woodbury.
Yeah, one thing St. Vincent did really good yesterday was rebounding the ball on defense. Really kept the Lakers to forcing them on only one shot. Obviously, Lakers made that pay as that one's blocked.
Good block by Rose. He's looking to push all the way to the cup. Finishes almost. There'll be a blocking foul saying that he was in the restricted area. So Rose will go to the line for 2.
Yep, he's been a big part for this team all of his years in college. As you mentioned, getting the 1,000 points. Now going to the line for 2, trying to put them into the lead here early.
Anthony Rose, the number 5, senior, 6'4", 225. Big man out there from the Bronx. Averaged 17.5 points last season. Started in 22 out of 23 games as he makes the first free throw. Was Empire 8 all first team and has been super solid for these Wildcats at his time here. Lining up for the second free throw. 77% free throw shooter is Rose. Makes the second, goes 2 for 2 at the line, Anthony Rose. Poly leads 4-2. Good press here by Wildcats, almost stolen. It will be stolen this time. It's Samuels who gets the steal. He pushes up the Bowen. He'll try a transition three-pointer, short. Rebounded by Celise Mitchell. Here comes the Dolphins now, looking to push. Gato, good work in the post. The hook shot is good. Little push shot by Gato is good to tie things up at 4 apiece.
And that's what happens when St. Vincent just takes care of the ball. They are good offense as long as they can just take care of it. We've seen a lot of their drives already stall out from turnovers.
Good pass there by Scanlon inside to Brian Bonin, dishing it to him, his first points of the game. 6-4 now in favor of Poly. Here's McCary trying to hit the roll on Gato. He gets the push shot to go. Gato up to 4 early points. Wildcats now with it. Inside is Rose. He'll get fouled hard by, they're going to call that, I believe, on number 6 in Gato.
Doing a great job here from Poly early, driving to the basket and drawing those fouls. Currently sitting at 6 points. 4 of them have come from the charity stripe. Obviously looking to add on more here.
And like you talked about, Josh, you expected fouls in this game, and so far we've seen a lot of that. As Rose will be at the line for 2 more free throws. Makes the first one. The foul will go on Celise Mitchell instead of Gato. So Mitchell picks up his first foul. McKay and Novella also have a foul as well. 3 team fouls for Mount St. Vincent early. As Rose misses his second free throw, 3 of 4 at the line today. Gato bringing up the court for Mount St. Vincent. Standing at 6'6", usually someone we don't see bring up the ball for Mount St. Vincent. McKay now with it, the primary ball handler. Gets his screen, looking to go to work. Drives on Scanlon, will kick it back out to Novella. Novella trying to go to work, loses his handle. On the floor is Scanlon, trying to reach for it with McKay. The Dolphins will keep possession. Woodbury takes a deep 3 from the volleyball line, and it will be an air ball. Shot clock expires, and great defense by the Wildcats.
Yeah, that drive, you just have to tip your cap to the Poly defense there. Just stifled them behind the line. Couldn't really get a good shot. Had to heave one up there at the end. Just couldn't hit anything.
Substitutions for the Wildcats. Number 23, Omara Hydera comes in, and number 42, Owen Dake. Hydera had a game high yesterday for the Wildcats, 14 and 6 rebounds off the bench. Coming in early here with 16:09 left in the first half of action. It will be inbound by Hydera to Samuels in the backcourt. Samuels hands it off to Rose. Rose looking to drive inside, gets all the way to the cup, can't finish, rebounded by Dake. He'll kick it out to Samuels. Swings it to Hydera, and he gets a tray to go. Hydera starts off strong, just like he did yesterday. Full court press now. The Wildcats against the Dolphins. It's McKay again with it. Gets a screen from Celise Mitchell. Finds him on the roll. Celise Mitchell trying to get to the basket, but will be fouled by Josh Rose. Apologies, Anthony Rose.
Yeah, that's only the first foul on Poly in this first half. almost 5 minutes in. They've played a very clean defense up until this point. They're going to try and hope and keep that going because they've had some really good defense, a lot of steals, and they've obviously, like last drive, holding them to that shot clock violation. Don't want to get too tired and start causing up those fouls because that'll start giving away points.
Inbound to Gato, looking to go to work on Dake. The push shot is no good. Great defense by Dake. Substituting in for the Wildcats, number 15, Connor Fulkerson. He's the one with the ball right now, being guarded heavily by Woodbury, and a timeout will be called by head coach Rob Schnoer for the Wildcats.
Yeah, just got himself trapped in a corner there. Just picked up his dribble a little too early, was looking for a pass, and great job there from St. Vincent to jump on him and suffocate him there and force the timeout. But Poly's done a good job offensively getting to the basket. They've forced a few fouls. They've got only 1-3, but their fouls, they've really made St. Vincent pay at the free throw line. This has been exactly what we've been expecting coming into this one. Very fast pace, quite a few fouls here and there. But yeah, this is a very good game, and I'm excited for the rest of this one.
It's been low scoring here at the Ziel for day 2 of the men's basketball tournament. So far, 10-6, both teams struggling from the field early. Wildcats at 2 of 7, shooting just under 30%, while Mount St. Vincent is 3 of 7, shooting 42%. And from the three-point range, Mount St. Vincent's 0 of 2, while the Wildcats are 1 for 4 on the day. It will stay with the Wildcats, inbounded to Samuels. He'll drive to the lane, and that layup is no good, can't get the finish. Good defense by Vidal. Woodbury will push now. So as it kicks it back out to Vidal, he'll drive inside. Good pump fake, step through. Can't get it to finish. Rebound, though, by Gato. An offensive rebound, and Gato now has 6 points. 10-8 now. Mount St. Vincent only down by 2. Samuels will give it to Fulkerson in the corner. Fulkerson drives by, gets all the way to the rim, gets fouled on the way up, and he'll go to the line for 2.
A lot of contact throughout that whole play. A really good screen up at the top, causing one St. Vincent player to go down. And then on the drive, he kind of gets smushed in there, just kind of ended up throwing up a layup. But he'll go to the line and try and get them back up by 4.
That foul will go on the number 10 of Eric Woodbury for Mount St. Vincent. Fulkerson at the line makes his first free throw. The freshman, 6'1" guard from Rochester, New York, was first team All-County in high school, and his senior year averaged 13.4 points per game, 1.5 rebounds, and 6.9 assists. Freshman getting some early minutes here for the head coach Rob Schnoer for the Wildcats. Goes 1 for 2 at the line. Dolphins now have it. Here's Vidal on the far side, being guarded by Rose. Vidal swings over to Novella. He'll try a tray. That one's off the mark. Rebounded by Hydera. Hydera finds Dake. Gives it back to Hydera. He'll try to drive inside, but before he can get his feet set, ref calls a travel.
Yep, exactly like you said. His back foot slipped, tried to catch himself with that extra foot. That's that one extra step that'll turn that from a pivot to a travel and turns that ball right back over to St. Vincent.
The ref will call that one every time if they see it. Inbounded to Novella. He's 0 for 2 so far on the day from 3. Had 4 yesterday. Handoff to Woodbury. Goes inside to Brennan Liam. Brennan goes up and under move. Hits the rim. Looking to push now is Samuels. He'll go cross-court Hydera to Fulkerson now. Good defense by Mount St. Vincent. Stolen that time is Novella. He'll give it to Brennan. He'll go hop step. Good defense by Dake. Just snatches that one right away. Poly will slow things down now.
You can see here Poly trying to slow it down.
Rose will get the finish and the foul. Anthony Rose. That's his 5th point of the game and a big one there.
Yeah, just as I was mentioning it, Poly, they had these back and forth plays of turnover, block, and then you could see Poly slow it down, try and get a drive going. Rose found his lane, drove right through it, ends up getting the and one.
Rose had a slow start yesterday, Played 32 minutes, only had 7 points, has 5 here early with 13:36 to go in this first half of action. Trying to complete the and one, which he does. 14-8. SUNY Poly leads. Substitutions coming into the game for Mount St. Vincent is number 15, Tyler Conley. Leaving the game is Eric Woodbury, and as well number 3, James Bolton, also enters the game for Mount St. Vincent. Inbound, scary, almost turned over by Novella. They'll call a foul, though, on the entry pass. So we'll try again here. Inbounding will be Luis Fidel, who started yesterday. Instead, Gerard Novella gets the start after his great game yesterday, where he finished with 14 points. Novella with the ball. Good defense by Fulkerson. They'll get a screen. Swings it over to Fidel. Takes a contested shot. Try to draw the foul, but won't be called. Offensive rebound, though, by Mount St. Vincent. Connolly with it. Backs down Bonin. Tries to hand it off to Fidel. Dangerous pass, and it's stolen. Here comes Hydera all the way to the cup. Euro step. Gets the finish. Tough bucket by Hydera. Now St. Vincent now looking to push, and Bonin comes right behind him and steals it. Bonin looking to push. Back to Hydera. Goes up for the layup. Another fast break layup for Hydera, but he comes and hits the ground hard, and he looks like he's holding that right elbow.
Yeah, we're going to get a St. Vincent timeout there. Again, they've been just trying to push this ball quick this whole time. And Poly doing a great job on these last few drives to really just take that ball away. They've used their speed and their strength to just rip the ball from them. And it's really worked out for them in these last couple of minutes. Now jumping up to a 10-point lead with just 12:50 to go in the first half. But Poly's got some talking to do. And St. Vincent really has got to figure out to slow this game down. They're really just showing that they're just rushing. They're just trying to figure something out. And it's the same turnovers that we saw yesterday when they played against Oswego. They had 24 against Oswego yesterday. They're already up to 5 today. So they really just have to slow the game down, play their game. And we've seen what they can do. They've put up their points, not many from the free throw line. They've done a lot on their own. They just have to slow the game down and get back to their game, and then they can find their way back into this thing.
Mount St. Vincent, this is a young team, only 2 seniors on this squad. So some growing pains here early for the Dolphins in this 2025-6 season. Novella with it. Trailing by 8 is the Dolphins after a 6-0 run by Poly. A deep 3 there by Connolly. It's no good and will go out of bounds. Substituting in for Mount St. Vincent is Jarrell Gato back into the game. He's been one of the bright spots early for Mount St. Vincent with 6. It will be Scanlon back to Hydera, who has been super solid off the bench for Poly this season so far. 14 yesterday, 5 early here today. They'll give it to Hydera. He'll try a 3, and it's good over Connolly. Hydera is off to a hot start. He's up to 10 now, actually. Bolton backing down his defender. Will kick it back out to Novella. Swings it over to Connolly. He'll try a tray. Can't respond. Rebounded by Comstock. He'll take it up the court. Give it over to Bonin. Bonin being guarded by Parsons. Here's Scanlon now, top of the key. Thought about the 3, and now will pump fake drive inside. The floater off the back iron and good. Mount St. Vincent can't stop Poly right now as Poly's up 23-8 now. Bolton into Gato. Gato trying to go to work, but they're going to get a foul on Comstock as it will be a blocking foul. Out of the timeout, Mount St. Vincent has struggled, Nick. They still look to just kind of not be settled into their game.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, this is a very young team, and this is very early on in the season, so we're definitely seeing some early season nerves from this team. They just have to recognize that slowing the game down is going to be their best option. You see even there, just kind of rushing into a shot, and that's going to cause that air ball, and now another turnover.
Gato tried a three there, was off the mark. Swinging around the horn here is Polly. Scanlon will drive, kicks it over. That shot is good from Bartone. Alec Bartone comes into the game, gets his first points of the game. So now McCary with it for Mount St. Vincent. Into the corner now is Parsons, the freshman. Woodbury gets by Bonin. Floater is no good, but a foul on the way up. Woodbury go to the line for two.
Yeah, and you can see on that drive, St. Vincent not really like trying to force it in, but looking for their lane to get into the lane and using that hole that Poly left for him to drive down and now draw the foul and get some free throws.
The first free throws of the day for Mount St. Vincent. Woodbury makes the first one. Substituting in for Mount St. Vincent is number 32, Blake Solis Mitchell. Substituting in for the Wildcats is number 0, Marquez Samuels, back into the game, leaving is Bonin. Woodbury looking to go 2 for 2 at the line. He does just that. 2 points now for Eric Woodbury. Dolphins down by 15 to the Wildcats.
Yeah, and we talked about the St. Vincent offensive struggles. That was 4.5 minutes without any points from the St. Vincent offense. 1 for their last 11 as far as points go. So definitely going to have to fix that.
Going to work was Rose, but offensive tip in by Alec Bartone. He's got 4 points now. Dolphins need to get something going here on offense. There's Gato. Can't finish the push shot, but it will stay with the Dolphins. Every time it feels like the Dolphins get something going, Poly responds right back on the offensive end.
They do, and the Poly offense, they don't let their shot clock run down very far. They're very quick to answer. They'll shoot no matter what the shot clock says, and they've seen it, and it's been one of their big parts is they don't let a team get any momentum because they'll score right back.
Woodbury tries a tray. He can't get it to fall. Rose almost turns it over. He'll go cross court to Samuels. Samuels in the corner, Scanlon. Back to Samuels. Give and go action. Good defense by Woodbury to get the block on Samuels. Looking to push now is Solis Mitchell. Euro step all the way to the cup. And they're going to call it travel as they're saying he took 3 steps before going up for the finish.
Yeah, that drive just needed that extra pass. They had the 2-on-1 fast break, but instead of making that extra pass, giving an open layup for his teammate, tried doing it himself, and it just turned into a very odd Euro step that didn't work out for him.
Poly with it. Scanlon now. Trying to go to work on McCary. Goes inside. Good defense again. That one blocked by number 4 of Kason Parsons, the 6'4 freshman out of Orlando, Florida. Reported to have a 39-inch vert, Nick. He competed in the slam dunk contest for his IMG Academy. Scanlon will try a 3-ball. That one is pure for Scanlon. He is a great 3-point shooter. He has a career high of 33 at OCC, where he used to play out, made 8 3-pointers in a game. McCary now with it. Poly up by 20 now inside to Solis Mitchell. He'll kick it back out to Connolly. He'll go for the floater. No good. Offensive rebound though by Gato, and he's up to 8 points. Apologies, 10. He has 10 of Mount St. Vincent's 12 points.
Yeah, and he's been able to use his size down low to get a lot of rebounds, and that's also helped him get those points as well down low, getting those 10 points up quick. That shot not counting for the foul.
Rose went inside, and he'll be called for the charge as he kicked it to Scanlon for the corner, who made the 3. But like you said, Nick, will not count as the foul was before the shot went up. Poly leads 30-12 with 8:25 to go in the first half here at the Max Ziel Men's Basketball Tournament. Day 2, the Lakers and Union Chargers will play later today here for the championship game. Gato goes to work inside. Good defense, though, by Comstock. Samuels now, crossover, gets inside, will take it back out. Scanlon goes to the rim, and again, that one would be a foul. Thought the ref whistled a travel at first, but it will be a foul instead.
Yeah, and I mean, Scanlon's had a very good game, and it's been partially because of his 2 threes that he's had, because it's also been able to have St. Vincent's defense draw out to him when he's at the line, which has been able to open up more of a drive for him. This one getting him some free throws along with it. But he's done a very good job at shooting the ball when the defense is more back on him and learning when to drive once they start charging towards him.
Scanlon goes 1 for 2 at the line. Scanlon now up to 6 points. Driving now is Gato. Good defense by Rose to get the block. He had one of those chase downs yesterday. That time gets another one. Into the corner, swinging around. Hyder will try another one. In and out. Offensive rebound though. Rose, good pump fake to get the defender the jump and gets the finish. Poly leads 33-12 with 7:30 to go. Novella will try a contested 3, and they're going to get Scanlon on the foul, saying that he hit Novella on the way up. So Novella will go to the line for 3 free throws.
Yeah, that's very important for St. Vincent. They've struggled from the three-point line tonight, 0 for 7 so far, and that's still going through, but now going to the line, trying to get some points up. Those 3 free throws may be huge for this team to get some momentum back a little more than halfway through this first half.
Novella makes his first free throw. As a team today, Mount St. Vincent's been to the line twice, or one time, and they went 2 for 2, so now 4 for 4 is Mount St. Vincent. They need these points at the free throw line to try to make a comeback here in this one. Novella misses the 3rd free throw. Mount St. Vincent shooting 5 of 22 from the field, 22% as a team. They struggled yesterday against the Lakers, having early struggles against the Wildcats. Rose goes to work, kicks it to Bonin, goes all the way to the rim. Nice finger roll around the defender of Gato to get the finish. That's 6 points now for Brian Bonin. Woodbury now trying to answer. That layup can't finish. Offensive rebound, though, by Celeste Mitchell. Can't get it to go. Good effort by Woodbury, though, but it will go off the Dolphins.
Yeah, great work there, though, from the St. Vincent offense to get that second opportunity. You just have to cash in when you get those chances. They were unable to do so, and now it's going right back to Poly.
Samuels being guarded by Woodbury. Takes him one-on-one. Will give it to Dake. Swings it back out to Hydera. He goes into the middle of the floor. Gets around the defender of Woodbury and finishes nicely right at the top of the rim. 37-14. Poly has ballooned their lead up. Starting to run away with it just a little bit. Novella trying to get going again here today. Inside to Gato. Backing down Dake. Good move by Gato to work on Dake to get the finish. He's up to 12 points now. There'll be a timeout as Hydera is tying a shoe. Some substitution for Mount St. Vincent. McKay comes back in. Woodbury leaves. Connolly leaves for Mount St. Vincent, and Elijah Benbro comes in as well. Samuels going to work on McKay. Got the first step. McKay draws the reach and foul on Samuels. 37-16. It will be a 1-and-1 for Samuels as Mount St. Vincent has 18 fouls, so they are in the bonus. Samuels, a 57% free throw shooter last season. The junior from TC3, 6'1" out there, makes the first free throw. Had a season high of 29 versus Clinton Community College last season. Started almost every game. Started 22 of 23 games last season. Had 15-plus points in 8 games last season. There's a solid score at TC3. Now here at SUNY Poly. Misses the second free throw, and it'll be a violation on Poly at the free throw line. Or maybe it'll be a foul.
Looked like during the rebound, kind of a push in the back from one of the Poly players trying to get to the rebound. And the only thing worse than that is now the fact that they are also now in bonus. So that'll be St. Vincent going to the line on the other end.
So Mount St. Vincent gets free throws after the foul. Celise Mitchell makes it for his first free throw. A 55% free throw shooter is Celise Mitchell. Substitutions for the Wildcats. Subbing in is number 24, Maddox Hughie. Leaving is Owen Dake. Second free throw for Celise Mitchell. Gets it to go. Mount St. Vincent trails by 20 with 6 minutes to go here in the first half of action. Cross court to Rose. Gets double teamed. Good defense by the Dolphins. They'll go cross court to Samuels. He'll drive. Kick it to Hughie. On the floor, Celise Mitchell kicks it out to Novella. Good defense by Mount St. Vincent. McKay, stolen by Rose, almost stolen. It stays with the Dolphins. And a foul on Hydera as Gato tried to go up for the finish.
Yeah, you could see Poly on that one just trying to jump those passes. Twice they almost got to it, but on that second one, caught a little too much body. That'll send St. Vincent right back to the line.
So Mount St. Vincent shot poorly from the free throw line yesterday, but so far they're 6 of 7. Gato makes the first free throw. He's now in 13 points. Been the only bright spot so far for Mount St. Vincent. He has 12. Make it 14 now. Up there on the scoreboard says 14. The live stat says 12. Not really sure which one to believe. Samuels will go cross court to Hydera. He'll drive inside. Finger roll finish on the left side is good. Hydera strong. Inbound pass is stolen by Bonin, but Hydera wasn't ready for the pass. McCary will give it to Celise Mitchell at the free throw line. Mitchell being double teamed. Inside to Gato. Over the small Samuel. Gets it to go. Now Gato's up to 16 points. Nick, he has 16 of Mount St. Vincent's 22.
Yeah, he's been a huge part in this one for this team. Only 6 points not coming from him in this entire first half. And the other 6 points are also all on the floor right now for St. Vincent. So it's been a very packed scoring from St. Vincent. Unlike yesterday, they were very widespread. They had a few people over 10 points yesterday. But today, it has been very much Joel Gato. And, I mean, they've had a couple of good drives here and there. They've been starting to put together some of that offense that we talked about earlier. They just have to continue pushing there and making that a more consistent drive. You see Poly kind of reverting back to what they had yesterday, where they're more attempting to jump passes rather than just trying to defend the actual player with the ball, which they were doing earlier, and it seemed to work well for them. Now they're trying to jump more passes, and although that can still work, it also causes for more fouls if you don't time it just right. So we'll see if Poly continues to do that for the rest of this half, or if they'll revert back to what was working at the beginning of this half and just kind of continue to put pressure on St. Vincent and force them to make more of those turnovers.
If you're Mount St. Vincent, 5 minutes left here in the first half of action. What do you have to do to try to cut the lead to within 10?
I mean, as a team, the big piece of it, I would say, is focus on your defense. Your offense has shown bright spots here and there, and they can continue to show those bright spots. But what you have to focus on is shutting down this Poly offense. They've had way too many drives where we've seen a player just kind of have a hole that they just break right through and get an easy lane. So they really have to focus on their defense. If they can get their defense to show up a little more and shut down this Poly offense, then they may have a good chance to make this one a little bit closer at the end of the half and make it a really exciting second half.
Hydera with it. Comstock goes inside. Good defense by Mount St. Vincent, but it will be a foul on Joel Gato. That is Gato's first foul. No, it'll go on Celise Mitchell. That's his third foul. And Celise Mitchell's confused why that one was called on him.
Yeah,
kind of shrugging.
And that's a very dangerous place also to be now at 3 fouls, and you're not even hitting the end of the first half. Understandably why you would want that foul to go maybe somewhere else, so he doesn't have to worry about now being only 2 fouls away for the game and now being subbed out with 5 minutes to go in the half.
Subbing in is number 4, Kason Parsons. Comstock goes 1, makes the first free throw. Goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line. Poly now back up by 20 with 4:45 to go in the first half here. McKay's been quiet so far. He had 11 yesterday. So far scoreless. Gato going right back to work. Good finish there, almost by Gato. Good physical strength by Joel Gato to get right to the cup, but can't finish it. But we'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and you can see that now he's getting into more of a physical type down low, really pushing off on that defense, drawing another foul and going back to the line. But he's been very physical now down low, really forcing his way in there, getting himself more of those looks.
Gato was 2 for 2 at the line before that miss. Now 2 for 3 as he misses the first one at the charity stripe. Shooting 7 of 12 from the field, 58%. Second free throw is good for Joel Gato. Goes 1 for 2 at the line that time. He's now up to 17 points. Fulkerson now with it. Trying to get by his defender. Good defense by Benbro of the Dolphins. Hydera gives it to Comstock, top of the key. Fulkerson trying to get around his defender and gets all the way to the rim, and the layup is good. A good finish there by Fulkerson. Benbro looking to push, finds Gato cutting. The push shot is good, and Gato's at 19 points. Might have 20 before the end of the half.
Yeah, and we pretty much, if I may be mistaken, but pretty sure we didn't even see a single player get very high over 20 points yesterday in either one of the games. So to be sitting at 19 and you still have almost 4 minutes left in the half, that is some really big numbers for him early on. We'll see if he'll carry that into the second half, but it could also be a change for Poly to maybe change their markings and put some more bodies on him. He just picked up only his first foul, so you're probably not going to get him to foul out very easily. So it's going to be a very tough job for Poly to get him kind of to slow down on all of this scoring.
Yeah, he had 8 points yesterday and 11 rebounds. Already up to 19 here. As Poly goes 1 for 2 at the line. Up to 20 points again is the lead. Gato looking to go to work against Comstock. He has the hot hand, takes the mid-range jumper. That one's off the mark, but it will stay with the Dolphins as Bartone couldn't corral it. Substituting now in for the Wildcats back in the game, Anthony Rose. As Hydera leaves, Gato directing traffic. He'll give it to Novella. Here's McCary now with a screen from Gato. Goes cross court to Benbro. Benbro to Gato. The baseline jumper, short. Rebounded by Bartone. Fulkerson now with it. Swings it to Bartone. And now in the corner, here is Williams Jr. Almost stolen. It'll be Rose now who finds himself with the basketball. Fulkerson drives inside. Tough finish almost, but will be fouled. And he'll go to the line to shoot 2. Fulkerson, the freshman, 6'1" guard from Rochester, New York. 2 points, 4 points on the day for Fulkerson. getting some runs here under head coach Rob Schnoer in his 11th season coaching for the SUNY Poly Wildcats. He's led this team to 159 wins, 108 losses over his 11th coaching career here at SUNY Poly, as Fulkerson misses his first free throw and makes the second. 46-25, SUNY Poly leads. Substitutions for Poly. Brian Bonin comes back in. Fulkerson will leave after going 1 for 2 at the line. McCary now with it. He's still scoreless after having 11 yesterday. It's a screen from Novella. Now has Rose on him. He'll give it up to Woodbury. Woodbury goes to McCary. McCary will try a three. That one's long. Rebounded by Novella, though. Gato now trying to go to work on Comstock. Good defense, though. Woodbury goes up for the layup, but he'll be fouled by Comstock. Good second chance opportunity by the offensive rebound by Woodbury. And now he'll be going to the line for two.
That was a very well orchestrated foul draw there from Woodbury. Going up for that pump fake, causing the defender to jump, and then using that jump to then get himself into that position and cause that foul. But he's got to make them pay. He's got to get some free throws.
He makes does 1 for 2 at the line. Coming in for Mount St. Vincent is number 1, Liam Brennan. Bonin now with it. 2:20 to go here in the first half. Poly still leading by 20 against Mount St. Vincent. Williams Jr. gets the screen from Rose. Good pick and roll action. Rose gets all the way to the cup. But they're going to call an offensive foul. A charging on Rose. That's the second time he's been called for that.
Yeah, and we've seen it's going to be put onto Novello, and we've seen him quite a few times set himself in that position trying to draw that offensive foul. Hasn't worked for him all night, but a couple of times it has, and when it has, it's been a pretty big moment for St. Vincent after getting that one bucket to now get the ball back, maybe try and go on a little run here to end a half and get this close.
That one stolen away by Williams Jr., but Gato gets it right back. He'll spin move, take a fading away shot, but that one's short. Offensive rebound though by Woodbury, goes right back up with it. Again, Woodbury getting a second chance, rebounds, and goes right back up with the bucket. Mount St. Vincent still down by 18 though, with 1:30 to go here in the first half. Comstock over to Bonin. Bonin, an ankle breaker on Woodbury, will try the three ball, but gets fouled by Woodbury. He'll go to the line to shoot 3 free throws.
Yeah, it's always tough when you get your ankles broken like that in the middle of the court. You always feel like you got to get some sort of revenge. You see Woodbury get up and try and get himself back in position, but he ends up giving up a foul on top of it, so it really just kind of looks bad for him on that drive.
Bonin will be at the line to shoot 2. Or I believe 3, actually. It'll be 3 free throws for Bonin as he misses the first free throw. 62% free throw shooter was Brian Bonin last season. Had 5 games where he had 10-plus points for Hartwick last season. This is his first year on SUNY Poly. Short. So far 0 for 2 at the line is Brian Bonin. Mount St. Vincent catching a little bit of a break here. Substituting in for Mount St. Vincent, number 15, Tyler Conley. And Samuels comes back in for the Wildcats. Bonin's third free throw. He'll make that one, so he'll go 1 for 3 at the line. 47-28. Poly leads with 1:15 to go here in the first half of action of Game 1 here for coverage on WTOP 10. Novella trying to get something to work here. Swings it over to Connolly. Back to Novella. Inside entry pass almost stolen by Comstock. Novella gets fouled hard by Cameron Comstock, who helps him up right away. That would be Comstock's second foul on the day, I believe. They're going to give that one to Williams Jr., his first. So Novella will go to the line here for some free throws, makes the first one. Novella only 2 points on the day, 0 for 2 from 3, had 14 points yesterday, 4 of 9 from behind the arc. Goes 2 for 2 at the line there. Mount St. Vincent down by 17 now, with under a minute to go here in the Ziel. Samuels over to Bonin. Two-man game with Bonin and Comstock. He'll give it to Comstock. Good entry pass by Brian Bonin. Finds Comstock for the 2. Up-court pass to Connolly. No one in front of him, but he misses the layup. Ref will call time.
Looks like he had something in his eye down on the side. That's Bonin, I believe.
Brian Bonin has something in his eye. I'm not too sure what it is. Maybe looks to be okay. He'll stay in the game. He'll be inbounding the ball to Samuels. 25 seconds left on the game clock. 21 seconds on the shot clock. 4 seconds separating shot clock and game clock. Samuels looking to work on Novella. Samuels gives it to Rose. Rose will try a tray. Short. Rebounded by Connolly. He'll push it up to Rose, but Rose will steal it. 3 seconds left the game clock. And they're going to get a foul. It's a charging foul on Tyler Conley.
Just 1.3 to go. So it's maybe enough for a pass, a dribble, and a shot, but this shot's surely going to be a heave from St. Vincent.
We'll see what happens. It'll be Connolly inbounding. And that one's tipped by Samuels. Less than a second on the game clock. They might reset it. Looks like they won't. It will be inbounded by Liam Brennan. And that one won't even be good as it hits the front iron. Well, end of the first half, Poly leads 49-30 here at the men's basketball tournament. Josh, it's kind of the same story for Mount St. Vincent as yesterday.
Yeah, and in fact, if you ask me, I think it's only gotten worse for St. Vincent. Last night, they ended their game against Oswego, although they did not, lose very close, but they still had 32 points from their bench. Going into the half, their bench is still sitting at 0 points in total. That is not much help for your starters, and we've talked about how Joe Gatos, he's kind of helped carry this team, 19 points going into the half, but this bench really is going to have to figure it out offensively if they even want a chance at getting back into this one.
Absolutely, Josh. Well, first half here is done for day 2 of the Max Ziel men's basketball tournament. Opening seasons for all 4 of these teams here in Oswego. Poly leads 49-30 with 14 minutes left on the game clock for halftime. We'll be back here on Oswego Athletics, actually. We'll be switching from WTOP 10 to Oswego Athletics. So if you want to continue to watch this game, go to the YouTube channel Oswego Athletics for the rest of this game and the next game between the Oswego State Lakers and the Union Chargers. We'll be back here on WTOP 10 after half.